Hey guys, so for this video, I wanted to do something different and talk about some creepy motherfucking shit. Now, for this, this video, I wanted to talk about some urban legends. I am so into ghost stories, horror movies, witches, and like all that kind of stuff. Now, these urban legends, two of them are very well known. They have been talked about a lot. And the only difference is that I'm going to go ahead and also tell you two little stories about these two urban legends that happened to me that make me believe they are completely true. And I'm totally freaked out about them. And one of them I actually have not heard of at all until last night. And the first legend is called
Slit Mouth Woman.
Now, the slit mouth woman basically started in Japan, and it's also told throughout China. And it's about a girl called Kashisaki Oman. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I totally believe I'm murdering the name, but I do apologize for that. And basically what the story says is that this girl was married to a samurai, and one day she cheated on him with a guy that was younger and better looking than him. And when he got home and found out about her betrayal, he was livid. He was like, fuck this bitch. So he grabbed his sword and slit her mouth ear to ear. So she had a whole like Joker thing going on. And it's also said that she was cursed and she cannot die. So she is meant to roam Japan and all the Asian countries and basically cause pity because of her scars. Now, here's what it gets creepy, is that she has been spotted wearing a trench coat and a surgical mask. If that's not creepy, well, it gets worse, you know? If she comes up to you, she will tell you, "Do you think I'm pretty?" Before you can even answer, she'll take off the mask, show you her mouth, and ask you again, "Do you think I'm pretty?" If you say no, this bitch will kill you. If you say yes, she'll grab a pair of scissors and slit your mouth just like hers. So basically, if you see this girl, you are fucked. You know, it also has been said that she goes after kids and men. And another website that I found also said that she would go after women. Kids, I really don't know why. Maybe because in like the whole paranormal world, kids' spirits and kids' innocence is very important. It's very powerful. So maybe that's why she goes after kids, and because they're easy prey. Men, I believe, because a guy is the one that slit her mouth and basically caused her to be cursed. Women, maybe because she's jealous that she looks like that and she wants to basically like take it out on them. Maybe that's why. But I do think it's like kind of fucked up that if you say that she's pretty, you know, you end up looking like her, and if you don't, you die. So that is kind of creepy. I would stay away from anybody you see wearing a trench coat and a surgical mask, because you just don't want to risk it. Now, let's go on to the second theory. Well, legend, sorry. The legend is about
Bloody Mary.
now Bloody Mary. This legend, let's say, does freak me out because one, it involves mirrors, and I do believe mirrors can go ahead and trap energies or spirits That's why when somebody dies, they would cover up a mirror so their spirit would not go into the mirror. So that's like, ugh, you know? But the thing is that something happened to me because of this little legend. Now, the way I know the legend is that Mary was a girl that used to live a long, long time ago. She was really, really pretty, and everybody would like loved her, and she would spend hours looking at herself in the mirror. And one day she got into an accident and it completely destroyed her face. People would not want to see her anymore. Like, they were scared of her. They wouldn't let her see herself. And one day she just could not take it anymore, and she sneaked into a room with the mirror and looked at herself. When she saw herself, she completely lost it. She broke down crying, and she just wanted to look how she used to look. So she went into the mirror to try to get her reflection back. And that day she swore that whoever tried to like find her in the mirror, she would go ahead and scratch out their face. Now, some people say that Mary was actually the Queen of England, Mary the First, and that there is a different way you can go ahead and call her, not just by saying her name 3 times, but you can go ahead and say, I have your baby, Mary. Say that 3 times, and she should appear, because Mary the Queen never had children, but she did have a couple false pregnancies. So they say if you say that, she will appear too. Now, the reason why I say I think it is true is because when I was a little kid, a stupid little kid, in 2nd grade, I went with my friends and to the bathroom at school, and like we had just heard the legend. This was like back in like 2001, 2002, around that time, and we decided to go ahead and play the game. Mind you, the bathroom in this school was so fucking scary. Like, it was a big brick room that had no light. Like, what fucking room does not have a light in a school? And it had really small, high windows, and it was just really creepy and just like, oh shit. It was just like really, really creepy. And we decided to go ahead and play, and I was the one that was basically dared to say her name. At the 2nd time I said her name, the room got darker than it was. Like, I swear to God, it got darker. I don't have no idea how, but it did. And then like it got so cold, like it just felt so uneasy in there, and the door shut close. Now, this door was a heavy door. The wind could not close it. Plus there was like a big trash can like keeping it open. So I have no idea how it closed on its own. It wasn't none of us. There was nobody else in there. So we were freaking out. Like, I swear I cannot make this up. Like, we were freaking out. And throughout that whole year, I never went to the bathroom there at all. I never finished the game. I never went to the bathroom again. And if I had to go, I would hold it as much as I could until I got home. And if I couldn't hold it, I would beg and cry for the teacher to let me go into like the teacher bathroom. Thank God that year they closed down the school because they were gonna go ahead and rebuild it, and I never went to that school ever again. But it was just so creepy. I would actually never do that again. So yeah. Now the last legend. Oh fuck, that scared me. Oh, fucking phone. Oh. Now the third legend is very well known, especially throughout the Hispanic kids, and it's basically a story that we were all told while we were very little, so we would behave, and it is about the weeping woman. Now, the weeping woman, also known in Spanish as La Llorona, it is a story that took place in Mexico. People say that it took place in Oaxaca, others say that it took place in Puebla, but it's basically a small little village that this very beautiful girl lived at. She was considered the most beautiful girl in the world. Now, as she grew up, her beauty obviously grew, but her pride did too. Like, she was pretty and she knew it. She was like, yas, bitch, you know? She was like, yes, I'm the shit. I am pretty. I'm not dating these fuckers over here. No. So, whenever they would ask her if she was gonna go ahead and get married with somebody in the village, she would say no. I'm gonna go ahead and marry the most handsome guy in the world, and that if he never came around, she wasn't gonna get married. So one day, sure enough, this guy came into the village. It was a very good-looking guy. He was rich, and he was a charro. Now, a charro is like a type of like cowboy, you could say. And he saw her, and he was like, yes, I want her, I want to marry her. And Maria obviously wanted to be with him, but she played hard to get. So after he finally wooed her and they ended up getting married, they had 2 kids, and they had like the perfect marriage, the perfect little family, until he started to leave on hunting trips and be gone for a long period of time. And when he would come back, he would basically ignore Maria, and he would only talk to his kids. So, I just heard something move, like, back at my dad's closet. Like, I'm not shitting you, like, at all. And my cat's not even in here, so. Well, okay. So when Maria started to notice that he would only talk to his kids, she started to get jealous, and she ended up growing hate towards her kids. And once she even heard that he wanted to like basically push her aside and just take care of his kids and marry again to another woman that was, how you could say, up to his standards, that was like up in his class, a wealthy woman, and that just didn't go with Maria. She's like, you ain't like, you know, no hunty, no. So one day, her and her kids were walking down to the river, and the husband goes by on a carriage, and he stops. He talks to his kids, completely ignoring Maria, and she notices that right next to him there was another woman. So she was like, who the fuck is that? Who is with my man? You know, she was completely livid. She was ready to kill. This bitch was ready to kill. And that's what she did. In her like rage, she got her kids and threw them into the river. When she like finally like calmed down and like finished going from like 0 to 100, like she was back to herself, she was like, holy shit, what did I do? So she was like, oh my god, I just threw my kids into the river. What the fuck am I going to do? Like, those are my kids, those are my babies. So she tried to get her kids back, but it was way too late. They were gone, and there was nothing she can do about it. So the next day, there was a rumor going around the village that they have found a beautiful girl dead at the riverbank. And when they went to go ahead and see who the girl was, they saw that it was Maria. So they dressed Maria up in a beautiful white dress and buried her right where they found her. Now that night, that's when they started to hear some crying by the river. Now the cries that they would go ahead and hear were very chilling, like skin crawling, very eerie cries. And then they started to hear, "Where are my children?" And that same night they started to see this woman that was dressed in white walking around the riverbank, looking and screaming for her kids and weeping. And they would tell the kids not to go out at night because the whipping woman would get her. So that same night they went ahead and stopped calling her Maria and started, "Ay, Simba!" Oh, fuck. Oh my god, Simba! Oh my god, my cat just like walked out of the freaking bed and just scared the shit out of me. Oh my god, Simba, that's not nice. Come here. Oh my god. So this bitch just scared the shit out of me. That's not nice. Okay, so they would tell the kids not to go out at night and to always be happy, because if they were sad, if they were unhappy, she would have come and get them. And that's exactly how I heard the story, was that if you were a child that was very unhappy, that was depressed, or that you were out at night, that you would hear her cry and she would come for you. Now, what happened to me was about 5 years ago, and I had just moved to Mexico, and I was so depressed, like so fucking depressed. I was in a different country where I did not know anybody. I had so much trouble with the language, and I was just like the most depressed kid ever. So one night around 2:30 a.m. I woke up for no reason and I heard crying. Like, now I thought it was like the neighbor, because we would hear her cry a lot, because unfortunately her husband would hit her a lot and we would hear them fight a lot. So I thought it was her, but the crying sounded so much different. Like, it sounded ghostly. Like it would just like you would hear it and your skin would just crawl, your hair would rise, like it was an unsettling cry. And sorry if I look down, I'm petting Simba, she's so cute. Now like, I heard it and I was like, wait, was it the wind? But I was like, wait, there's no wind, it's like the mid of summer. Sorry, my camera's about to die. And it was like the mid of summer, and I was like, okay, so what is this? I heard it again, and I was like, oh my god, please don't let it be. Like, I was scared. And sorry, I just had to take Simba out. She was like trying to jump onto the window and stuff. But so basically, I was like the most depressed kid ever. And when I heard this, I was like, holy shit, this bitch is gonna come and get me. And like, since I was a little kid, I was always very sensitive to like supernatural stuff. Like, I'm not shitting you right now. Like, I was so sensitive to this stuff that I was so scared, because I did not hear her cry once or twice. I heard her cry 5 times, clear as day, screaming, "Where are my kids?" But, you know, obviously it was in Spanish. Like, she was saying, "Ay, mis hijos." And I was so fucking scared. Like, you guys have no idea. And I could not fall asleep that night. Like, I got up, I closed my window, and I was sweating. Like, it was the middle of the summer, so it was hot, and I was sweating in my bed. I would not open the window. I was like, fuck this shit. She's gonna come in my room and take me. She's gonna take my soul. And I just sat there the whole night until the next day, and I had like the biggest like dark circles because I did not sleep. But since that night, that whole summer, I did not open my window at all because I did not want to hear her cry again. I was so scared that I was gonna hear her cry. And when I heard her cry, like the cries sounded far away, and I heard that if you hear her crying and it sounds far away, it means that she's actually near you. If you hear her crying and it sounds close to you, that she's far away. And when I heard it, was like the cry sounded kind of far away, at least like a mile or so away. So I was like, holy shit, this bitch is really, really close to me. And I was convinced she was gonna come in my room and like take me. Like, I was like, So I was like, no. I closed that window, never opened it that whole summer, and I don't know, like stuff like that I can't explain, and really I couldn't find an explanation to why I heard it. Like, if it would have just been once, it could have just been the wind. But I heard it 5 times. Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain that crying 5 times? Like, it would have been once. I'm like, okay, it could have been the wind. Like, I could have just imagined it. But no, I woke up without a reason, like, feeling scared and uneasy, and then I heard it. Like, how does that work? So, like, I am totally convinced it's true. I don't fuck with that shit. And, I never will. So, yeah. So those are the legends I have for you guys right now, because if I do more than 3, I seriously would not be able to sleep tonight. I doubt I'll be able to sleep right now because it's kind of late. And if you guys liked it, I'll go ahead and do more of these videos. Go ahead and comment below, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe, and I'll go ahead and see you next time. Mwah.